Good evening, and thank you, Danielle, for inviting me to come tell my story of Loudon Hunger Relief. As he said, my story started a long time ago in Leesburg, Virginia. Leesburg was a different Leesburg than it is now. It was slower, there were less people. You could go down King Street at 9 o'clock in the morning and the store owners were outside sweeping the sidewalks, getting ready for their day of work. Yes, it was a different Leesburg. And so I was there, I graduated from Loudoun County High School, the same as our 4 children did, went away to college, and came back to Leesburg. Now, someone once gave me a traveling iron, and if you don't know what that is, it's a little small iron that you put in your luggage when you travel so you can press your clothes. Well, they said immediately, "Why would you give that to Rachel? She's not going to leave Leesburg." And so I stayed. Bruce and I have been married 45 years. We have 4 children. We have 15 adorable grandchildren. And so life was good. We raised those 4 children, and we owned Leesburg Pharmacy. The children worked there as soon as they were tall enough to stand on a box. And they were part of our greater world. It was a different world then, though, because everybody knew everybody else. It was easy to say, "How's your garden? How's your new baby? How's that new puppy?" You knew people then, and people knew you, and it was just different. So children grew up, went to college, moved away. They all 4 lived in different states at one time, and yet one by one, our girls came back to live in Leesburg, and they live across the street from us. Now, someone once asked me if I was bossy, and I said, "No, I don't think so." They said, "Because those boys would never live that near you if that was the case." Those boys are right here tonight, so if you really want to check it out, you can find out. Our son, however, relocated to Raleigh because that's where his wife is from. And so what could I say about that? So with the children grown, I began my volunteer era. I just got back from seeing Taylor Swift last month, so everything is in an era now. I started at Loudon Hunger Relief over 20 years ago. Now, Loudon Hunger Relief has been in operation for 33 years, so this was fairly new at that time to be over 20 years ago. At that time, our food came from our trucks that would go to the grocery stores and pick up deliveries from the stores. They picked up things that were going out of date, maybe cookie stands that they were no longer selling, breaking down the cookies that they were going to be working with. We would be really excited if we got eggs, because when they brought eggs in, we would cut the cartons in half so that more people would get 6 eggs than less people getting none. We also would get peanut butter in large vats that it came from food banks, and 3/4 of it was oil, and the other bottom part was whatever is in peanut butter. And we would have to take turns. It was such hard work to stir it up that we would have to take turns doing that. And then it would be dispensed into styrofoam cups with a lid, because peanut butter is known for going far and providing many meals. We also were always happy if we got milk at that time, because it was just such a good feeling to give milk to our families. But I always worried when we only had chocolate milk, because I know those kids like milk on their cereals and not chocolate milk. So I thought to myself, this is good. People are getting food. It's serving the purpose, but it's not enough. They need more money. And so I thought about it. Spring turned into summer, and summer for me only means one thing, and that's flowers. I have many gardens, love my flowers, took flowers everywhere I went, to a doctor's office, dentist, hairdresser, friends, and everybody seemed to love them. So during this era, I also volunteered at several thrift stores, and I started collecting jars and vases. I collected anything that could be a vessel for flowers. Then I stacked them, I boxed them, I stacked them high in the garage, and they got more and more until one day Bruce said to me, "What are you going to do with that mess in the garage?" And I said, "I don't know, just give me a little time and I'm gonna show you." So our son was home from college one day and I said to him, "Do me a favor and go down in the basement and get the card table and bring it up and put it at the end of the driveway near the road." Well, he looked at me like I was crazy, like I was going to have a lemonade stand or something like that. Well, I wasn't going to do that. So while he was doing that, I went and got a tablecloth, I got a bowl, and I made a sign that said, "Donations to Loudon Hunger Relief." I put my flowers on the table, they're all arranged, they all have a bow, and I arrange them as if they were for my best friend, every one. And that weekend, I made $50. $50, I thought to myself, is this a one-hit wonder? Could this ever happen again? I couldn't wait to go in on Monday morning, I had my money in the envelope and turn it in, and gave it straight from my heart. And then I thought to myself, the next days come by, and I thought, well, if I could do it that day, maybe I could do it again. So for 12 years, from May until October, I have been putting flowers, I do 10 to 15 arrangements a day, on the table. The table's now bigger. I now have an umbrella to cover the flowers. I have professional signs that say, "Donations benefit Loudon Hunger Relief," and I even take Venmo. So, for 12 years I've done this, and in those 12 years, the community and I have raised over $188,000 for Loudon Hunger Relief. Thank you. And so, when I stop and think about this journey, I think of it in terms of an A, B, and C. A, for awareness. Half of the reason I started this was for awareness of Loudon Hunger Relief. I wanted people to know what it was, what they did. I wanted people that needed it to know what it was and what they did. Awareness. I once was volunteering at one of the granddaughter's schools, and I held the hand of a little 5-year-old girl while we were walking to the library to read. She looks up to me and she says, "I'm so hungry." And I looked at her and I said, "Honey, it's only 9:30. What did you have for breakfast?" And she said, "I didn't have any breakfast." I said, "Okay, you know, raising 4 children, I know kids go out the door sometimes and don't have breakfast, but we always had food." And so I thought, "Well, what did you have for dinner?" I said. And she said, "I didn't have any dinner." And I stopped in my tracks because I thought to myself, that means this child only eats 1 meal a day, and it's the school lunch. Well, forever I worried about her. I still worry about her, but I thought about spring break. I thought about summer vacation, especially snow days. What did this child eat? And now I go back to awareness, because had her family been aware of Loudon Hunger Relief, perhaps she would never have been hungry for a single meal. I was really trying how to reach these people because I wanted them to know that our help was there for them. For B, I say be generous. Be generous. It's just the way we can be, because so many of our families that come to Loudon Hunger Relief are the working poor. They go to their work, they pay their rent, they have a car, buy gas, clothes, but they don't have enough money to buy food. And they make too much money to qualify for federal aid. These families come on their lunch hour. They come in the evenings. They come on Saturday mornings. We're accessible to all of them. And when they come and get their food, they leave with Wegmans bags. Wegmans donates all the bags for Loud and Hungry Relief. So when they're seen carrying groceries in, no one knows they've been to the food pantry. They think they've been to the grocery store as they haven't been. I think it gives them a sense of dignity. So be generous. The food need is for real. 14% of Loudoun County lives paycheck to paycheck. For C, I say count your blessings. It's easy to remember them now at this time of holidays, but hunger knows no vacation. These people need food. They need food every day of the year, and they count on us. And just as Leesburg and Loudoun County has changed, so has Loudoun Hunger Relief. It's now a food market where it's like a small grocery store, and volunteers stock the shelves as a grocery store, and people come in and shop for their families. They're able to choose what their family would want to eat as opposed to being handed a bag of food, which they would have been glad to get. This also gives them some dignity in that they have some say in what they're feeding their families. And so, in closing, I want to thank everyone for being aware of Loudoun Hunger Relief. And on all of our clients' behalf, I thank you.